My name is Julia and welcome to our review of the new DJI Mavic Air, an ultra-compact drone that promises the best features of the Mavic Pro, but in a form factor almost half the size. While it's designed to sit alongside the current Mavic Pro, we think it actually beats it in a lot of core features. To keep things simple, we'll break it down into the following categories: features, performance, value, and comparison. We'll leave some timestamps down below in the description, and a big thank you to Vision Up and DJI for providing us with a sample of the very first red one, the gloss red in Canada. They're also an authorized warranty service center, so if you crash your drone, you know where to go. Starting with the features, the Mavic Air is an ultra-compact drone that has a top speed of 68 kilometers an hour, a battery life of 21 minutes, a maximum range of 4 kilometers, and a camera capable of 4K footage with a bitrate of 100 megabits per second. It's available in 3 colors: matte black, gloss white, and the gloss red that we have here. When folded up, it measures just 168 millimeters long, 83 millimeters wide, and 49 millimeters high. To put things into perspective, here it is compared to a Samsung Galaxy S8. It's barely bigger by 2 centimeters on each side. It weighs 430 grams with the battery installed, or just under 1 pound, and it comes with a padded hard shell carrying case. The 4 legs fold out similar to the Mavic Pro, except for the 2 front feet that now fold like the DJI Spark. The non-foldable propellers attach using their standard spring-loaded quick-release system and can stay mounted even when the drone is folded up in storage. On the front, the new 3-axis gimbal is a huge improvement over the previous designs. The entire camera is now nicely tucked into the body and features a much more resilient mounting mechanism, resulting in greater stability during flight and better protection in case you crash. The protective cover has also vastly improved with a 2-part design that slides in and clicks into place. The camera itself uses the same sensor as the Mavic Pro, but has a few slight differences. The lens has a slightly wider focal length of 24 millimeters, and a maximum aperture is now a slightly slower at f2.8. There's no option for Cinema 4K anymore, but DJI has added the ability to shoot 120 FPS slow motion at 1080p. As a nice little feature, DJI also included 8 gigs of onboard storage, so you'll still be able to shoot even if you hiked 2 hours up a mountain and forgot your SD card. Everything is controlled by the new Mavic Air controller, which looks almost exactly like the DJI Spark controller, but features a stronger enhanced Wi-Fi transmission system. Its maximum range of 4 kilometers is double the range of the Spark, but just a little bit over half of the Mavic Pro. One big quality of life update is the new thumbsticks. They are now removable and store inside the controller itself. While it sounds like a minor change, this means that you can put the remote in your pockets or your bags without the sharp sticks stabbing everything. Moving on to the software, the Mavic Air comes with 2 new intelligent flight modes on top of all the existing ones: Boomerang and Asteroid. Boomerang will lock onto a target with the camera and perform an upward spiral, creating a pretty epic shot with a single tap. Asteroid is similar to the sphere mode introduced with the DJI Spark, except now it's a video mode that literally acts as an asteroid. The Mavic Air has an upgraded sensing system with 7 external cameras and 2 infrared sensors to provide obstacle avoidance forwards, downwards, and even backwards now. DJI also added an additional flight mode called Advanced Pilot Assistance System. In the past, if the drone detected an object in its way, then it would just simply stop in its tracks and hover in place. But with APAS enabled, it will now automatically fly around these obstructions. All right, with all of that out of the way, let's talk about the performance of it all. As we briefly mentioned earlier, this is a very small, nimble drone. While the top speed is lower than the other flagship drones such as the Phantom 4 or the Inspire, the ultra-light weight makes it much more maneuverable compared to its bigger brothers. It can start, stop, and change directions almost instantly. So good, in fact, that we decided to tweet using the drone. Hi! But seriously, don't try that at home. We do the stupid stuff so you don't have to. Plus, it's probably not good for your drone to tape a chopstick to it. In addition to being super portable, another advantage of the small size is just how inconspicuous this drone is. We took it out flying a few different places, and no one ever felt threatened or intimidated by the drone. So for our flights, we had a pretty cold week here, sitting at about -1 degree Celsius with 20-kilometer-an-hour winds and wind chill to about -5 degrees. Now, the recommended operating range of the Mavic Air is from 0 to 40 degrees, but we never ran into any problems. The battery life was a few minutes shorter, but that's expected of any electronic device that uses batteries. We also brought it up to Cypress Mountain Viewpoint, which was just over 1,400 meters above sea level. We flew it over the edge, which was about 120 meters up from the ground, with winds of up to 45 kilometers an hour. Even with high wind warning on the screen, the Mavic Air had no problems keeping up. We wouldn't recommend it though, since the drone was being tossed around quite a bit. If you're shooting far away objects like we were, it won't be that noticeable, but if you're tracking something up close, then we'd recommend waiting for a better day. We weren't able to properly test the maximum range since Vancouver drone laws are pretty archaic and don't allow you to fly a drone farther than 500 meters away or higher than 90 meters above ground, which we never did at any point in our testing. For most people, the enhanced Wi-Fi connection with the included remote is strong enough that you shouldn't run into any connection issues at the common ranges that you'll be flying in. Even when we flew it in a park right beside a few apartment buildings that are probably littered with Wi-Fi networks, we never once had a weak signal warning. The Mavic Air can be controlled by a smartphone or gesture controls, but we wouldn't recommend either of them. A smartphone's Wi-Fi antenna simply just isn't strong enough or reliable enough to maintain a connection with a drone. Not to mention the fact that you have zero tactile feedback trying to control two imaginary sticks on your screen. As for gesture control, well, it exists. We don't recommend it. So now let's take a look at price. With an MSRP of $799 US, it fits right in between the $499 Spark and the $999 Mavic Pro. But in terms of features, it absolutely blows the Spark away and then overlaps quite a bit with the Mavic Pro. It even manages to bring a few features that no other drones have. And that leads us to our comparison. In terms of DJI's consumer drones, the main competitors are the other Mavic models and the Phantom 4 lineup. If portability was no concern and image quality was your #1 priority, then it's hard to beat the 1-inch sensor found on the Phantom 4s. They can record at 4K 60 FPS, have stronger motors for higher speeds, and larger batteries for flight times up to 30 minutes at a time. Their remote controllers also have native support for larger tablets, something that the Mavic series can't do without a third-party adapter. If portability was a concern, then we'd recommend the Air over the other Mavics 9 out of 10 times, unless you absolutely need the extra range or the higher quality feed from the OcuSync transmission system. Just get the Air and use the extra $200 towards a Fly More combo, which gets you 2 additional batteries and a dual charging hub. However, for the unique snowflakes out there, the Mavic Pro and Platinum do have their own unique features. The OcuSync transmission system is the only one that can pair up with the DJI goggles wirelessly, while every other drone requires the headset to be plugged into the controller. The controller also features an OLED screen with all the vital information easily visible at a glance. If you're serious about videography, then it's nice to have this information split up since you can have a nice clean image feed. The Mavic Pro and Platinum also feature much faster ascent and descent speeds with any intelligent flight modes, but the same in sport mode. And finally, you have the ability to use waypoints to generate automatic flight paths. Overall, it's interesting to see how DJI has filled the market with different models, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. It's almost like a car manufacturer. You have some sportier models with more utility and some bare bones that get the job done. Is the Mavic Air perfect for everyone? No. But once you add in all the pros and cons and factor in how most people use the drones, we think it's a perfect jack of all trades for most people. Now, as for me, I'm not some experienced pilot who's flown a million drones. I'm not even that great at Mario Kart. But the DJI whole line actually of drones were very easy to fly, and you get great footage. You can fly it with accuracy, and you almost never crash it because it has so much smart technology in it that prevents you from crashing. I mean, it even has the backwards sensors now. So they've really thought of everything, and this is a drone that I believe you wouldn't grow out of anytime soon. Thanks for watching, and let us know what you thought of this review. It's a bit long, but we asked around in different places, and many of you guys suggested that you wanted more in-depth, detailed reviews. So we hope that satisfied your itch of yours, whether you were shopping for a new drone or had no intention of buying one and just wanted something to watch while eating lunch. As always, you can like the video if you liked it, click over here to subscribe, click over here for our other videos, and follow us on social media right over here. And as usual, the links to shop are down below, and if you break your drone, VisionUp's link is down below too. See you guys next week.